Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood here on the road in beautiful Chicago, Illinois. It's a balmy 14 degrees here today. It's fantastic. So this article was submitted by Faye Edelstein. Actually, it's a topic that was submitted by Faye. This is what you get to do if you are at the $5 level of the Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com, you can submit articles and topics and really participate in the stuff we are talking about. So we're talking a lot about climate change on this show, and one of the things that Faye has submitted is, first of all, there's sort of a combination of things, the geoengineering and how that's being used, and it is really very much an unproven technology. Now, at first glance, when I hear about geoengineering, I'm like, all right, well, if there's a way for us to alter or change the weather to help reverse climate change, I'm all for it. But there was a couple videos that Faye submitted, and I'll put the links in there below, from this Dr. Wolf, not Richard Wolf, but this this woman that's a writer in New York, and it goes into, of course, there were some resolutions passed about geoengineering and what they're doing, and it's like Silicon Valley companies that are funded by venture capitalists, and in the bill it was, let's privatize they're calling the weather industry. I've never heard that term. It's like now it's called the weather industry and like meteorology, but privatizing that. So that's dangerous. And when we know, look, when they say privatize, it's so that corporations can have more control and there's no public oversight. And they've already been doing this. Meteorologists are being told not to bring up climate change. When they're talking about all these crazy weather patterns and weather events, they are literally told, do not say that this is connected to climate change. So this is another way, so that makes me very, very leery of geoengineering. And I was watching one of their videos too about the 5G, the introduction of 5G, which is, oh great, makes our phones faster, and again, I'm leery because it's the telecommunications industry. If geoengineering with proper oversight and research is a part of a legitimate Green New Deal, I'm all for it. But right now it just seems to me like it's Silicon Valley just trying to profit off of the buzzwords of Green New Deal. And so this resolution was introduced, H.R. 109, that was on Ocasio-Cortez's website, and then she later disavowed herself from it, distanced herself, because in it was, and I don't think she's doing anything nefarious. I think she's just a new congressperson who's like, gets these massive bills and doesn't understand how there's always hidden shit in there. Anyway, so H.R. 109, it's not a bill, it's a resolution. In it was like 60% green new energy and 40% just sort of vague blank checks. And of course, the people backing that are Silicon Valley people and stuff like that. So they're introducing they've sort of redone this Green New Deal. And in that, they're talking about talking about jobs and wage inequities and all this other things, and how it's not just that, because that's what a real Green New Deal is, for me at least. And when I first heard the term many years ago and hearing Jill Stein talk about it, it's what the New Deal did. So when FDR introduced the New Deal, when he took office, the country was in a mass depression. It was like a third of the country was out of work, and it was like putting people not just back to work, but dealing with the huge wage inequities that were happening. And in that was like the WPA, the Works Project Administration. Like there were theaters. I've performed in, I can always tell when I'm in a WPA theater. We did the FNX show the FNX Comedy Experience, which is available online. If you go to watch.fnx.org, you can see all 13 episodes of this Native American stand-up series. And it's also not just natives, but it's got some big name comics in it. Nikki Glazer's on it, Jimmy Dore's on it, Steph Zamorano's on it, Larry Omaha, and a bunch of the ladies of Native, a bunch of amazing comics, some newer comics. Anyway, part of the New Deal was like putting artists to work. So in those WPA theaters, they weren't just like theaters. There was artwork and sculpture and, mosaic, all this beautiful stuff. So that's what a Green New Deal is about, not just giving people jobs, building wind turbines and solar panels, but really putting people to work and also incorporating a federal jobs guarantee and universal basic income. Because as we talk about automation, robots don't shop. So if everything's automated, how is the economy going to keep going? So what in these videos, if you watch this woman, Dr. Wolf, talk, she reads over the specifics of this new resolution that literally they're just introducing. So they revamped it. And the reason they revamped it is, and the first one, HR 109, didn't have any public oversight. It was just this sort of funneling money off. And we need public oversight, and we need to get involved. And what gives me hope about this is they're saying Green New Deal. The minute they said it and Democrats started saying it, I knew, you knew, corporate Democrats like Dianne Feinstein are going to get a hold of this thing and water it down so their oil lobby buddies stay cozy with them. And the tech industry and everything like this. So it is one of the things that I'm seeing is that people are paying way more attention. And Ocasio-Cortez, she is very active on Twitter. She pays close attention. So when her base, when progressives that support her call her out on supporting a bill that's bullshit, she actually pays attention. Now, Dianne Feinstein, when a bunch of young girls come to her office and say, we want a real Green New Deal, she says, now this, shut up, kids. That video I did was really offensive, but she's like, this will never pass. So we need to hold them to this, because it's going to take bold leadership. And so we have to stay on top of this. I'm going to be talking about this a lot. So I encourage you to watch the links. They're lengthy videos. Each one's about 30 to 40 minutes that Dr. Wolf does. I'm just getting introduced to her from the Daily Clout. And, it's giving me at least a broader picture on what's going on, and also how to kind of keep us all, we all have to pay close attention, and we all have to speak up. And that's what we need to do. So, because they're going to try to water down a Green New Deal. They're going to try to put in bullshit things in there. We have to stick to it. We cannot acquiesce on this because we're running out of time. So I thank you, Faye Edelstein, for submitting this topic for me to discuss. And I appreciate everybody at the Patreon and all of you for supporting. You can support the show at patreon.com/Graham Elwood. Progressive Comedy Tour is coming to you March 10th through the 13th in the Gulf States. We're coming to Lafayette, Louisiana, Oxford, Mississippi, Pensacola, Florida, and New Orleans. That's March 10th through the 13th. We're coming to Texas the 12th through the 15th. We're doing Fort Worth, San Antonio, Houston, and Austin the 12th through the 15th of April. And of course, I'm in Chicago this week, the Downtown Zanies, and then the Rosemont Zanies the 25th through March 2nd. All those tour dates and everything are at grahamelwood.com. Like, subscribe, share, watch the ads all the way through. When you click skip ad, I do not get paid. If you're a YouTube Red subscriber, I get paid anytime you watch. Thanks for watching.